So I recently watched the film Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. He's a renowned filmmaker, and that's arguably his magnum opus, his best work. But anyway, I think the main theme of that film is to see the bigger picture. And what I mean by that is, you know, in the climax of the film, spoilers for the film, but we're debating certain things like whether or not Radio Raheem, whether he deserved to get his boombox smashed because he was being disrespectful in the restaurant. We're debating if Sal is racist or a bad guy. We're debating what Sal should have done, follow the request of Giancarlo Esposito's character and put some, in quotes, brothers on the wall. We're focusing on all of this and whether or not people should have rioted, but at the end of the day, somebody died. Radio Raheem died. Somebody was murdered. That's a court term, so I don't think the justice system would necessarily call it that. Especially seeing that it's from the point of view of a policeman. But what I'm saying is that so often, Radio Raheem dies. We're talking about the circumstances. We're talking about respiratory issues with George Floyd. There was another case in which somebody was selling something, and that person quite literally became deceased as a result of police brutality. And all of this is really negative, obviously. Like I said, though, seeing the bigger picture of things is more important than seeing the details, although both are beneficial. You need to see the point of what's happening. And to incorporate this into your everyday life, I think, you shouldn't focus on your failures throughout the day if you're constantly achieving things and challenging yourself. Just to give some examples, like say you went extremely hard at the gym, you lifted hard, you ran cardio, you stretched out good, but there might have been like a specific machine that you struggled on. You shouldn't dwell on that. That's the mental process. A lot of the time, people dwell on something like that. They let it ruin their entire experience. Let's say let's say you had a successful day at school. You're reaching out, talking to your teachers, your classmates. You know, being a positive presence in a place where people are not doing that. And if you do something wrong, we dwell on that. We make that the focus of what we did wrong, of what we did. What we did wrong is the spotlight, the most significant in our minds. I think to do this, like to see the bigger picture, I think that's really beneficial. And I think that when you look at it from that point of view, like, some people like to keep track of their accomplishments and everything they did and everything they can improve upon. And I think when you hyperfixate on something like that, a failure, it can really hurt your emotional stability, and it could be a mental lapse in how you approach the day. When you see the bigger picture, it's not actually always involving yourself. It could involve other people. Like, say you're talking to someone and they messed up, you have to see the intentions of what they did rather than some specific thing that they messed up on. Like, if somebody genuinely tries helping you and something were to go wrong, it doesn't go out the way they wanted it, the way they intended, the bigger picture would mean that they still tried helping you, and they tried as a human being to improve your way of life. And I'm not saying not to avoid the details and to not focus on them. People find it appealing, and it helps them as people to realize that somebody's noticing them and the little things that they do. Focus on those, but realize that in real life examples, like if you have some type of significant other and they're trying to compliment you and they misspeak in some type of way, it can be hard to interpret like their actions and what they really meant by something. But it's tough as a person to realize that, like, intention is stronger than actions a lot of the time. You know, our minds fail us in so many different ways and so many different things go wrong. But I think I want to be that type of person, the one who's able to see people's intentions and what they were trying to do. And obviously, that's like an easy thing to say. Like, often people even lie about that. Like, I was trying to do this one thing and this happened, and I ended up cheating on you with this one person that's unrelated, you know, but I still tried doing the right thing. All of that could be total nonsense. But part of it too, seeing the bigger picture, seeing where people are being truthful, seeing what people are meant to be doing, and seeing like how they positively impact your life, and through that you can mirror what they're doing and help a lot more people.